Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Babe Podcast, the Bitcoin and Blockchain Evolution. I'm Sarah Herring, joined by Matt Davio, and we have a very special guest for you today, a man with a name girls have been swooning about for years and years, Tristan Chaudhry. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Hey,
Now,
Tristan.
Tristan, I think we should get right into the action. You were recommended to me and Matt by several people that we've already interviewed. We scoped out your site quite a bit in the last couple weeks, and you guys are launching a token, so you're in a really big point in your business model right now. But let's talk first about Fry Egg and what you're trying to do, how you came into this, sort of the inspiration. Just give us the breakdown on Fry Egg.
Yeah, sure. So I went when I was 18 years old to Penn State University Park, and it was a great school. I had a lot of fun, but I was really into crypto, and I've been into crypto since 2013. I was an early miner of Litecoin, always been a huge fan, and I really wanted to open up this business. I had this idea for a long time, and the idea was matching personal trainers and dietitians and nutritionists with clients completely online in a fashion similar to how Uber freelanced drivers. So we would essentially have an online platform that would allow clients looking to lose weight to maybe do a body detox, to build muscle. And instead of shopping for the person, the coach, they could shop for the results. So let's say you want to lose 15 pounds. I say, I want to lose 15 pounds. Show me everyone in the world who can do that. And it'll just show you all the programs that do that. So I had this idea, but I didn't really know how to formulate it. And I didn't really have any programming background. So what I did was I dropped out. And I was able to do that because of the Bitcoin holdings and Litecoin holdings I had from high school, from mining. And I got an apartment with my roommate, and I just programmed this thing. I learned, I forced myself to. I said, I'm not coming out of this apartment until this thing is built. And I'm not sure how long it's going to take. Maybe it's a month, maybe it's a year, but I'm going to build it because I know if I can build this, it'll work. So I built it, and it was very difficult to do at first, but it got much easier as I got used to the code, and I used all these different programming languages like Angular, React, JavaScript, but I became really familiar with it. My network grew quite substantially, and they helped me out a lot from local meetups and little startup events. And then I had my roommate, Chris. He helped me to onboard some of the coaches at first, and they said, wow, we really like this. Like, we're able to substitute our current income at the gym with Fry Egg, because clients around the world are just joining. They're like, wow, I want to lose 20 pounds of fat. Who can do it? And instead of going to a gym and paying $60 for a half-hour session, the coaches are charging $60 for a month, for a whole month of coaching. So it's like a tenth of the price they would have charged. So it's the clients are saving a lot of money. They're getting all the help they need. They're able to literally take pictures of their plates, send it to their coach, and the coach is like, all right, here's what you need to change. Here's what you're doing wrong, right in their pocket. And no one else was able to do that. So I guess that's how it all started. And we've just exploded since then. And that was about 5 months ago. So this is still relatively recent.
So I always ask people, like, was there a reason why you focused on health and nutrition? Do you have a personal story that you'd like to share? Is it, or is this just more, business sense that you figured this is a big marketplace? It's always something people struggle with, so I'm going to go with it.
No, so I think that fitness has so much potential because everyone can relate to it. And yet it's the most common struggle everyone has. I mean, there's a reason it's such a big industry. No one can seem to nail down exactly how to lose weight. Now, why, after all of these years, why isn't there still a clear answer on how to just lose fat, build muscle? Everyone still needs help. It's because everyone's different. Every body type's different. There's no one-stop shop to doing something with your body because every body's built differently. And I recognize this. And we have a health crisis. I mean, let's just face it. America has a health crisis. No one knows how to manage their health wisely. They think they can fix the problem with medications and pills, and there's like one pill that'll fix it. That's just not how it works. And no one has the budget to be able to afford buying their own dedicated coach up until now. So the way I looked at it is this. Humans are humans. We're always going to need help. Every one of us needs help with something. I would like my own coach. I mean, even if you're an expert, there's always a next level you can reach, and you need help to get there. And I don't see a solution other than maybe doing the research yourself, but no one wants to spend the time doing the research. They'll get confused. If you were right now looking to lose fat and you went online, you'd find 10,000 different diets and you don't know which one works. All kinds of different pills and supplements, different workout programs. Everyone needs their guy to just help them out with their goals. And I think that's the main motivating factor behind Fryig, is because everyone should have their own coach at all times, helping them to get to the next step.
And I love the idea of these professionals and coaches, nutritionists, et cetera, exerciseologists, I've seen them called. But I love the idea that they expand their markets because they're approaching obviously a worldwide marketplace, and they're able to do that. And also the transaction becomes secure with the idea of crypto behind it, or blockchain.
Well, that's where things get interesting. So everything I've described up to this point is the platform as it stands now. But I wanted to take this to the next level. I mean, this platform works and it's very scalable, but I wanted to make it very, very interesting for the client. And I wanted to add an extra motivational factor. So what we did was we created a token called Egg Tokens, and this will be launched and released around July. And we're currently undergoing our ICO right now. But what is going to happen is we are going to add an optional program. For each program sold, clients can enroll in the Egg Token program, which means if they choose to sell us their data, we will pay them for their working out and their meal plans. We want to pretty much jot down everything they're doing. We're like, hey, oh, you're 200 pounds right now. We want to track your progress. And if you give us permission to, we'll get rid of your name and location, so it's completely secure. But we want to keep track of what you're eating, what you're doing to work out, how many steps you're taking, how your sleep patterns are going. And we will pay you for this information. You don't have to change anything you're doing. Keep training with your program,
So sick.
but we're going to pay you to work out. And you know what we can do with this data? We don't need to know your name. It's irrelevant to us. We don't care. We don't care where you live, what your name is, or who you are. We just want to know, how did you get from point A to point B? And what we're going to do is we're going to sell that data to Pfizer, to Aetna, to insurance companies, to large corporations that are normally spending billions of dollars on research when they could just pay the person who's already doing the work right now. So people get paid to work out, and we save the companies who are doing research millions and millions of dollars. Here's the catch. The companies can only buy this data with Egg Tokens, which is what backs the value of the tokens, because there's a limited supply of tokens and there's an ever increasing demand for the data that's being constantly built up in our platform. It's completely anonymous, completely transparent, and it's revolutionary. No one's ever had a model like this before.
Even I see one of the things that you guys are also doing outside of just this idea of like nutrition and exercise is working with the aging process, which everyone knows is like a multi-billion dollar industry as well.
Yeah.
You could easily sell. I mean, this is something that I spent a lot of time last year just studying like data science in general and how to actually get accurate data and how to get the specific type of data that you're looking for. And obviously most data becomes almost useless, but it's the only thing that's worth anything, I think, at this point in this day and age. This is so crazy and so revolutionary. And I really want to get more into that in a second, and more into how you guys are going to utilize cryptocurrencies and how you're going to keep things anonymous and this stuff. But before we get too far there, I want to talk a little bit more about just the beginning part. So when people come onto Fryig, I also want to know why it's called Fryig, by the way. But when people come onto Fryig, so they say, okay, I want to be a vegan and I, want to still eat whatever, like carbohydrates sometimes, or I don't know, whatever their specific thing is. So then when they put in those things, do they have an option, say like there's 20 people and then you like connect with those people and say develop a relationship, or it's almost like swiping or something? How does the actual, I guess, decision to find a specific coach happen?
So picture this. Picture you're a single mom and you're on a budget, but you want to tone your body a little bit, right? And you have a certain diet, you're on some certain medications, you can't have carbohydrates, maybe whatever it is. You go on Fryig. You click, first, I want to lose fat. Boom. Here's all the programs to lose fat. We introduce filters to you. You can say, I want my coach to charge this much a month. This is the range. And obviously there's varying qualities and there's varying experience for the coaches. So that's what determines the price, and the coaches set their own prices. But you say, this is my budget. I can't eat carbs. So I want any programs that involve the high carbohydrate diet out. Boom, that's filtered. I want a coach that is going to be able to video chat with me at least twice a week. There's going to be a filter for that. You're going to be able to hand pick, and that coach might be in Germany, he might be in Japan, he might be in China, but there will be a coach for you. And currently we're in Europe, North America mainly. We hope to expand into Asia very soon. The main reason is because of the translation issues. So we're building onto that. But no, I mean, you're going to be able to find a coach from literally anywhere. And some people think it's really cool to have a Swiss coach or vice versa. The Germans will be like, I want an American coach. And they'll be able to use those filters and find that perfect fit for them.
And how do you keep them from, say, stepping outside of the platform and just, I guess, having like peer-to-peer transactions once you connect them with each other?
Very simple. You're not going to be able to get the benefits of the egg tokens. It's our way of making sure that no one would even want to leave, because how are they going to be able to get paid? The client has the ability to make more money than they even spent on the program based on their data. Why would they want to give that up?
Okay, so talk a little bit about, do you have any insurance companies on board that are already chomping to buy this data from you? Talk on the back end and the business side.
Yeah.
What kind of deals are you guys putting together?
So we have some very interesting partners. Some of our advisors, you can look at our advisory list. They've worked directly with insurance companies for the most of their career. Russell Berman is one that comes to mind. And we're trying to establish these relationships with these insurance companies that say, hey, you currently are subsidizing your clients' gym bills, but you don't even know if they're working out and you don't even know if it's effective. At least with FryEgg, you'll know for a fact they have a coach making sure they're making progress, and you can see their results if they choose to share with you. And the insurance companies can actually subsidize the FryEgg cost of the program, and the FryEgg client can still get paid to work out. So that's one type of relationship we're trying to establish. The other type of relationship is, as you just said, the data. The insurance companies like Aetna, and it's not just insurance companies. A lot of it's medical research companies. So hospitals, researchers, governments, they want to know how, okay, for example, let's say I'm a researcher. I want to know how Xanax affects weight loss over a 60-day period. So I go onto the FryEgg Health API. I insert the tokens that I just purchased, because you need tokens to be able to get information from this. Now I can look up 1,000 records. 500 of them, I want people who use Xanax. I want to see how that affects their weight loss over a 60-day period. And then the other ones who don't use Xanax. Wow, people who didn't use Xanax lost it, I'm just making this up, but lost 10 pounds more over a 60-day period. That's incredible research, because the data is coming straight from the client. And it's better quality than even the multi-million-dollar medical research is, in my opinion. And so those are the types of relationships we're trying to form with them.
It's so interesting too, because then the data is going to be so complex also, which is something that you guys are, I'm sure going to have to figure out how to manage, right? Because there's so many factors and so many things are going to be intricately weaved. How much sleep does someone get? How much water do they drink? Are they trying to build muscle? What are they? I mean, really, it's like infinite information.
And what's beautiful about the blockchain is it's immutable. It can't be edited or altered. So you know for a fact the data is pristine and it's real, it's authentic, because it comes straight from the user's device and hands into the blockchain. Boom, done. Nothing else to do.
Transparent, no lie. Man, that's so wild. So this is like side topic, but it doesn't, the name to me is totally not what I would expect the company to be. When I first started looking, I was like, I'm like, oh, this is about health and fitness. Like,
what, you don't like fry it? You don't like
I
fry
mean,
it?
I love me some fried eggs, but like, where did the name evolve out of?
So when I think of breakfast and protein and working out, I think of eggs. I pick up a protein shake and eggs and like maybe a banana. But it's a domain name I had. And when I was thinking of names for this concept, I was looking down. I have all these cool names. They're short. They're all .coms. I'm like, which one fits with this idea? I'm like, there's Optite is an example. OPTITE. I'm like, does that work? Optimize your health? No. Holt is another domain name I have. So I had all these names. I was looking through with my friends. I just liked FryEgg. It's 2 English words. They're pronounceable. I mean, some of these crypto companies are Siberium also, like all these weird, like I like simplicity. Uber, Lyft, Google, FryEgg, not Holterium, this, that. I just like it simple. 6 letters. You'll never forget the name. I guarantee that.
And it makes for an easy tokenization too. I
Egg
could
tokens.
definitely see
It's
that.
eggs. Yeah, we got when a client earns eggs, they call it the egg basket. I mean, there's so much branding we can do here. You can level up from sunny side up to hard boiled, all kind. We have our token stages. It's not level 1, level 2. It's the diamond egg stage and the golden egg. We had instead of an airdrop, we call it an egg drop, like they do in high schools. We have instead of the bounty program, we call it the egg hunt. Like we're just having fun with this at this point.
Oh my gosh, that's hysterical. So talk to us a little bit then about the process now. You said that are you in the pre-ICO or you're doing that in July?
We're currently in private sale. So we're taking on private investment in the into the company, and for the tokens, we will be having our pre-sale starting around June, and then it'll be completed at the end of June. That's our timeline now, subject to change if something crazy happens with the market. We're trying to time it right. But yeah, we're in the very early stages, and we've gotten a great feedback from our community. Our Telegram group has exploded to like 1,800 users with very little marketing dollars spent, and our Twitter is doing pretty well. We're getting like 300 retweets per tweet we do, and likes. We're getting invites all over the place for interviews. It's just fantastic. We just spoke at Dubai. I was just invited to NASDAQ several weeks ago. I was on the NASDAQ billboard. No, it's amazing. It's really cool.
Talk about that a little bit. You know, I'm involved in markets every day. So why did NASDAQ invite you to come up and talk? Were they doing an expose on new fundraising for companies like yours?
Yeah. So the event was called the Crypto Business Forum, and the top projects and the top crypto, it's mainly American companies that were coming there, and they were invited to speak and talk about what they're doing to change the space and the industry that they're in. One of our advisors was actually organizing the event, so the invitation was there, and I said, of course, we'd love to come. It was everything I thought it would be. It was a great reception. There was a VIP event. There was an investor event, but I thought it was really cool how on the actual Jumbotron of NASDAQ, we got our logo up there. We got my face, the CEO, and the whole team took a picture. It's on our Instagram and it's on our Twitter. So if you guys want to look at the picture of that, it's up on our social media feeds.
So, it's interesting. Sarah and I have talked to a lot of exciting projects and companies like yours. I'm always curious, like, how do you guys, your advisors, your team, your active day-to-day sales officer, COO, how do you guys all get together? I mean, I'm curious. Tell me a little bit about how that team has evolved and come together. Because I think I think it might help other people that are kind of struggling. Maybe they're missing pieces and looking for a certain role to fill. How did you put it together?
We have a very decentralized team, very decentralized. And Isaac, our CMO, he's in Miami. Half our team's in Miami, half's in like Philadelphia, New York, some's in Dubai, some's in Singapore. We're all spread out, but I'd say once a month, we all come together, we plan, we reconvene, we see each other at these conferences we go to. We're on the phone nonstop. Luckily for me, I don't get any sleep, so I'm able to reach all time zones and talk to all members of my team. But no, I think this day and age, the day of the office is slowly leaving. It's like WeWorks. That's why WeWorks have exploded. You just need temporary office space to get stuff done. You're able to scale internationally that way. So we have people who are meeting in China, in India, in Dubai. That team member reaches those guys. Then we have people in California. They're going to take care of all the meetings for people there. And it actually has allowed us to grow at a much faster pace being decentralized, because we're able to reach different clientele and different partners at different time zones and be there in person. So it's actually been a great strength for us, the fact that we're decentralized.
So one of the things I think we sort of glossed over, but which is absolutely incredible to me, is that you had this idea, this baby that that you wanted to create, but that really you had no experience with developing or development backend, which is like super, super hard even for people who know what they're doing, and with multiple languages. Tell me about how you even what's step one for that, and how long did it take before you yourself were actually able to create this backend, which really it looks fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah. So it was rough. So I really didn't know. I think the fact that I didn't know what I was getting into as far as development helped, Because if I would have asked any developer who had any common sense to be like, what do you need at least a couple $100,000 to start this. You need a team. You're going to need a backend developer, a designer. I just did it. Like I made the logo in Illustrator, and I looked up a video on how to make logos. I mean, it looked cool. I thought the logo looks cool. And the website, I mean, it's simple enough. Maybe I have an eye for design, but I looked at some other sites that I thought were cool. I took bits and pieces and just put it together. Boom, you got a site. Then I said, okay, how do I build this thing? So I go on YouTube and I'm like, okay, what are the best programming languages and the least likely to get replaced in the next decade? So after reading and doing a lot of research, I've discovered that MySQL and PHP, those, I'm not sure if it means anything to you, but those are old. Those are out. Those aren't going to be relevant anymore. The new stuff is all JavaScript, and it's Angular, it's React, Google, Facebook. These guys are leading the charge in this industry. And so I'm like, wow, I want to get involved. And it was just such an exciting community. So I reached out to whoever I did know that were developers. And they said, yeah, you're right on. You want to use this stack. You want to use this programming language, which was Mongo, this, that. And they're like, here's some resources to help you learn. I read the whole thing in one day. I'm like, cool, simple enough. Started coding. Just 6 months later, I came out with the site.
So sick.
Hey Tristan, do you have ADD?
Yeah. Do I have ADD? I think I picked it up after all this.
I mean, I did.
No, you share your medicine?
Medicine. And no coffee, by the way. I don't drink coffee, no tea. I just drink water. No, I just, I'm an extremist, and to some extent, and to a degree, you have to tell yourself there's like literally no other option. And I don't mean that to sound really hardcore, but I mean, the ability is there. You can build it. And I'm living proof. You can build whatever you want in under a year if you just have the dedication. I lost a lot of my social life during that time frame because I did drop out of college, and it was just me and the friends I had back home who weren't in college. But I had great support from my family. I had great support from my friends. Everyone was constantly updating me on saying, hey, you're really getting the word out there. It's inspiring. So I had no problem with it. And I know as long as I came out with this working, everything would work out, and it just seemed to do so.
No, I didn't mean that at all in a negative tone. I actually think what you're doing is impressive. And I think, like, again, generationally, I'm double your age, let's say. And when I was in college, we didn't have the opportunities that kids that are in college and maybe don't know what they want to do, right? They're kind of flailing around. So I find it really exciting that, you really have approached life with the Socratic method, in that, hey, I live in the best time. I can find out and teach myself anything I want.
Anything.
If I
and in my opinion, college is becoming very quickly irrelevant. I learned nothing. That's a very bold statement to make, but I stick by it. And my parents, they were fully supportive of me doing this. Some of my friends, they are in college, and they say, we need this degree. I think if you're not a lawyer or a doctor and something you need to be extremely professional at, you can just do it yourself. There's really I've learned more about business than, in my opinion, my business friends learn in their MBAs just by doing this.
Well,
I'm actually in the real world. So it's completely different.
So it's like, I was working, I went back for my MBA 5-6 years into a career, and halfway through it, I was taking night courses. I'm like, I could teach these classes. This guy doesn't, he's a professor. He's never been in the business world. So I agree with you. And I think it's great what you're doing. I think it's so exciting. And, for us, I think it's inspiration for, I've got 2 kids in college, and, one kind of knows what she wants to do. The other one's a freshman. And I keep encouraging them, like, what do you like? If you want to get involved in sports management, which is a huge business, or esports, then find a way, figure it out, knock on doors, ask people.
Exactly. No. And 1 second. So I'm on the extreme end of the totem pole. You can hear me all right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it doesn't need to be that extreme, the way I described it. I think if there's anything to take away from this, it's that even if you're in college, you should have some side project you're doing to help accumulate the skills that can supplement your degree, because a degree alone is not going to cut it anymore. through this process of running this company and growing it, I've met some of the most incredible people that employ hundreds and thousands, and they do not care anymore about a GPA and stuff. They want to know what you can do for them, because in an international economy, that's all that matters, is what you bring to the table. What have you done? Where's the proof? A degree alone's not going to cut it. I mean, unless you're going to a very, very, recognized business school, you'll get an internship right off the bat, and it's still great. College, nothing can beat the college degree, but it's not alone. Like, that alone's not going to cut it for you anymore. You have to have something you're working on, an internship, a project, maybe with some friends you built, even something funny, like just a little app. Just have something to show, have a portfolio ready to go, because it's just not going to cut it anymore just saying I have a degree.
I mean,
Hey,
and the
Tristan.
reality is things are changing so fast in technology and media and everything that you couldn't learn what you need to know anyways. And so it's more about being the type of person that's capable of learning, the type of person who's capable of picking things up and staying on the next thing. And for you guys, in terms of, I mean, obviously most of our audience is a pretty significantly crypto based and crypto interested group. So I wanted to talk just a little bit about sort of what you guys are using in terms of smart contracts, and are you guys doing like an Ethereum base, or using ERC20? What are you guys doing for your tokens?
Yeah, so we're going to have a dual token model. One is for the exchanges that will be going on, and we are a security token, by the way, so we're going to be SEC compliant. There's a 12-month lock on all the tokens. We want to be compliant. This was a huge battle for us because it was between a utility token and security, and we just decided to say, hey, we're going to be a security. We want to be compliant. We don't have to worry about things down the road. So it's a good long-term play, because we do have a long-term plan, and it's security for any potential token purchasers that they will not be getting robbed or scammed. With that being said, we're going to have an ERC20 token for the exchanges, and that won't have any functionality on the platform. Whenever they deposit their tokens into the platform, it'll be swapped for an identical version of the functional token. And we're talking to a few companies: EOS, Stellar, A-Chain. These are some of the platforms we could be building on. They're looking for Western companies, especially ones that have this kind of platform and this kind of growth size, to be able to build on their platform. So we'll see how that goes, but we might just end up building our own private blockchain. We're not really sure. So we have an incredible tech team that's working out master nodes, all kinds of cool things that we can make sure this works with the transparency and the scalability we want, but that is still being developed. We're in the very early stages of that.
It sounds amazing. It sounds fantastic. And I want to make sure that our audience can find the project. And also yesterday when we spoke, I mean, the website is fairly easy. And of course we'll put links in the description, and also we'll put links in our other little boxes and our other websites, but talk about where they should go to find all of the different elements.
So for the core platform, if you're just someone looking to lose weight, go to fryegg.com. Or if you're a coach, if you're a personal trainer or a dietitian or a nutritionist, go to fryegg.com/apply, and you can apply to become a coach on our platform. Our team reviews it. We have our set of standards that we make sure you check out with. If everything looks good, we'll add you to the platform, and you can begin making money. If you are looking to get involved in the token sale, go to tokensale.fryegg.com, and that's the best place to get started. We have all the info there: our white paper, one pager, social media links, everything there.
Fantastic. We know you're so busy, and you're like all over Dubai, NASDAQ, but we really appreciate you taking the time. And I think this is definitely one of the most exciting projects. And we just had Rob Finch from ICO Alert on last week, and he was talking about, he's like, the security token, this is the future. This is the sort of new currency coming out. So I think it's great to hear that you guys are doing that. And yeah, we'll have to catch up once you guys launch and see. I mean, this
for sure.
Fitness and this now, but it could be a million things later. You guys can do beauty and, I mean, therapy. You could just go crazy, I think.
That's why I like Fryegg. It really applies to anything.
Yeah. And the depth again that people like, the research angle to me is boggling, because the problem with research generally is we can only have so many factors, right? And you're throwing in really the kitchen sink here and saying anything you want to look at, you can basically index and scan for it, which is pretty cool.
And the main thing with the Facebook data, you saw that data leak with Mark Zuckerberg. I mean, this is the problem. People don't want to have their data just leaked. they don't want it just for free. They don't want to just give away their data. But if you tell people, look, this is exactly what we're collecting, it's anonymous, and we want to pay you for it, I think that solves a lot of problems. And I think people will be more than willing to do so. So that's our approach on it. I think we'll have great success. And I appreciate you guys having me.
It's the future. It's the future. I love it. All right. Thank you so much, Tristan. Have a good one, man.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tristan. Take care.